They say pressure does one of two things. It either crushes a man into dust or polishes him into a diamond. What do you do when the football dreams you've chased your whole life suddenly evaporate? What do you do within the exact same month you find out you're unexpectedly becoming a father? You get married, and the grandfather who raised you your whole life closes his eyes for the last time. Do you fold? Or do you climb in the cab of a truck, show up for a grueling 12-hour shift after the youngest guy in the room, and resolve to become the top guy in the room? Today's guest didn't just survive the heat, he used it to forge a legacy. So hit that subscribe button, turn up the volume, and get ready for a raw conversation on what it truly means to chase your growth and your dreams when the smoke clears. Branden Allen is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Surviving the Flame. Take a look at some of the previews from today's conversation. If you're going to really pursue something, if you're going to really, want to be something, like if that door is open for you, then cool. But if it's not open for you, then that doesn't mean that oh, like life is over or whatever the case may be, because like in you focusing on this door that won't open, you're completely oblivious to the fact of all these other doors with so many other opportunities, opening up for you, and you're still stuck on the door that's just not meant for you. You know what I'm saying?
Glad I didn't go. So it was just a wake up call to
Like,
your life can change at any second, and any decision that you make can result in something you don't want to be a part of. So I tried to take that with me the rest of my life.
but when you look at everything that you've accomplished since then and the things that you're doing, where you're at mentally, you know what I'm saying, with all that put together, if you had the opportunity to tell your grandfather anything, what would you tell him?
I appreciate him for holding my feet to the fire, because I know every time I get comfortable in life and get put in a different situation that I have to step outside of my comfort zone, it's him, because he told me that he was gonna hold my feet to the fire no matter what I did. So I know every time I get pushed, and it's definitely him.
I feel like a lot of people can learn and grow from that, because I feel like it's so easy to live in a moment of, man, I wish I could have, or maybe if I would have just did this, or maybe if I would have been more of this, or maybe if I would have stayed away from that. And it's just like, man, like whatever's happened is going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whatever cup is meant for you, oh, you gonna have it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There is no escaping or getting away from the things that are truly meant for you. And all right, family, welcome back to another episode of Surviving the Flame. If you enjoyed that preview, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts so we can keep this flame burning together. Now, let's get into today's conversation. Alrighty, grand rising kings and queens. I'm your host, Taveion Mickens, and welcome back to another episode of Surviving the Flame, where we have lit conversations with ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today's guest is truly no different. Our guest today is someone I've had the honor and privilege and fortune to share some of my favorite laughs and had some of my deepest cries and a lot of honest emotions that only a pure, genuine friendship can really like conjure up and bring about. Not just because he's really a brother to me, but also because he's a genuine friend, a genuine light as well. Our guest today is no joke on the field, and embodies the very definition of an athlete, from his knowledge of the game to his passion for the craft when it comes to the sport of football. He's a phenomenal hard worker, a father, a husband, and a leader who has withstood many challenges that most people would not be fortunate enough to make it on the other side of. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, children, gentlemen, people of all ages and stations, and even the ones making minimum wages, please give a warm welcome and round of applause for the one and only Mr. Branden Allen. What's good, my
Uh,
brother? How you doing today,
hey,
man?
I'm good. How you doing? Anybody tell you you're good at doing them intros, bro?
Hey, hey, man, I appreciate I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
that's
man,
wild.
but I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But go ahead, man. This moment is for you, brother. Go ahead and put your city on the map, man. Where you from?
I'm from Marietta, Florida, a little small town just outside of Tallahassee near Panama City, but I live in Pensacola now. So this
For
is my
sure,
new
for
home,
sure, for sure.
basically.
I got you. I got you. And what about your hometown makes it special to you in your childhood? Like when you look back, what are some things that you really, that makes you smile when you think of your hometown?
Oh, it's a small town, so was surrounded by nothing but family, like living with my grandparents. So, I mean, I got my uncles, my cousins, everybody's all together. So it's like, you can walk right up the street and go hang out with your cousins all day and just have fun, live life. So that's the best part
For
about it
sure,
is
for
being
sure.
surrounded by family and everybody.
Absolutely, brother. And I think it's safe to say, as I mentioned before, football was definitely your first love, and you carried that all the way through, like just about the entire time that I've known you. Who would you say rather introduce you to football, and were you ever curious or interested in playing any other sports growing up?
I remember when I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old, I used to run around the house with a Florida Gator helmet on, like tackling couch cushions and like just doing wild stuff. But
Yeah,
probably just watching the game and being a Florida Gator fan, like that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. So football was just easy to get into and it was fun. So I made the
that's
best
what's
out
up.
of it.
For sure, for sure. As a father now, I'm sure you look at your son now and you see a lot of habits or a lot of trends that you may have had as a child. And, one can say, oh, the kid gets it from, mom, kids gets it from dad. But what's one quality that you see in your son that you know for a fact your son gets from you? And how does that make you feel seeing that trait in him?
Oh, I think his little athleticism comes from me because he's pretty fast, and like once he puts his mind to something, you can see he's gonna do it and give it the best he got, and he just likes having fun, and I like that about him.
Since I've known you, you've always had a certain level of maturity to you, from the way that you talk, the way that you act, the way that you play ball, but you also carried a certain level of humility that most people don't have, especially with the characteristics of a pure heart as such as yourself. But back then, I mean, we were kids, you know what I'm saying? So what would you say, or I mean, like that energy is something that's picked up on, it's something that's learned from someone, you know what I mean? So who would you say, you've really looked up to as a kid?
I would say definitely both of my grandparents, my granddad on my mom's side and my dad's side, and then all of my uncles that I grew up around, my Uncle Junior, Uncle Chris, all them being right there, they're all good stand-up men, great husbands, great fathers. So I mean, I had no choice but to follow in that path by the way they led. So
For
it brought
sure.
me where I am today for sure.
For sure, for sure. You said before that you grew up with your grandparents. You grew up, having a very special connection with them, and all your older cousins and uncles. But what would you say is your favorite memory that you share with your grandfather, and why?
Mainly, but on my dad's side, me and him, we got our thing where we shoot pool and go fishing and hang out. So that is like good times with me. And then my granddad on my mom's side, he's a big football fan. He was Florida Gator fan all the way through and through. So that's what kind of brought me into that too, like just being around him. Me and him bonded off of sports, and then me and my other granddad bonded off of fishing and shooting pool and stuff like that.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Um, and you talk about experience
Yeah.
where you could have gotten into, some big trouble with some of your peers that, you were hanging with, but you decided not to go. Walk us through that experience and what do you feel that experience taught you the most?
That day mainly was just an eye opener for me because like those are the dudes that I normally hang out with, and all they did was ask me, "Hey, you wanna go play basketball today?" And something told me like, "No, I wanna," like I said, I
Mm.
stay hang out with my granddad today. I got a bunch of people that come over, we hang out, throw something on the grill, and shoot pool, so I was like, "Yeah, Imma just hang out with them today," and then me making that decision ended up, what being a wake up call for me because I went to school, like, I think it was the next day. That happened on a Sunday, and, like, everybody that
Yeah,
I woulda went with got arrested for doing something stupid, and I'm like, "Man, I'm glad I didn't go." So, it was just a wake up call to,
like
like, your life can change at any second, and any decision that you make can, like, result in something you don't wanna be a part of. So, I tried to take that with me the rest of my life. Like any split decision I make could be a good one or a bad one. So I try to keep making the good ones.
that's very true, and I think it's, like, really a testament to just, like, the type of person that you are, not only as a leader, having great leaders like your grandparents, your uncles, your older cousins and things like that to show you the way, but, like, it's a testament of your leadership just by also in the career path that you've chose as well. We've mentioned before your love for sports, but most specifically football, and I mean, it's safe to say that anyone that really, like, knew that, like, you were someone that was a huge prospect to go play college football and maybe have the likelihood of the opportunity to go pro. But however, upon graduation, you chose a career path that later opened up doors to a life that you never even knew that you really desired until it was yours. But would you say would you say it was a difficult decision not to pursue college ball? And how did you pivot into the career field that you are currently now in?
At the time, I felt like it was a bad decision, but I mean, if I went in playing the college football, the way I look at it now is looking back, if I did that, I wouldn't have had my son. I wouldn't have been like where I am today. So I feel like I made the right decision, even though some opportunities presented themselves. And I moved to Pensacola, started working, got my career going. A couple years later, had a son, and then got married and life just went on from there. So, I mean, I can't say I have any regrets. I love the game of football and it helped me and kept me out of a lot of trouble. So, I mean, but I don't regret any decision. Like it would have been fun to go live that life, but I'm living the life right now with my son and my wife. So I'm good.
And I feel like a lot of people can learn and grow from that because I feel like it's so easy to live in a moment of, man, I wish I could have, or maybe if I would have just did this, or like, maybe if I would have been more of this, or maybe if I would have stayed away from that. And it's just like, man, like whatever's happened is going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever cup is meant for you, oh, you gonna have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no escaping or getting away from the things that are truly meant for you. And I mean, like, it's so easy, especially now. Like I feel like everybody lives in this fake world of like quick, quick money this and quick money that, and like overnight success and everything. And it's like, no, that's not necessarily how that goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to really pursue something, if you're gonna really, want to be something, like if that door is open for you, then cool. But if it's not open for you, then that doesn't mean that like, oh, like life is over or whatever the case may be. Because like in you focusing on this door that won't open, you're completely oblivious to the fact of all these other doors with so many other opportunities, opening up for you, and you're still stuck on the door that's just not meant for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I can honestly say that being someone who had, aspirations to go to college straight out of high school as well, like I went to I mean, I joined the military, but I mean like before that, like bro, I was stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like,
Yeah.
where the freak do I go? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else was gung ho about, I'm going to that college, I'm going to this school, I'm doing this, that, and the other. And like all I knew is I wanted to perform, I wanted to be on stage, and I wanted to continue doing acting and everything like that. But it was just like, I didn't know how to actually start because I didn't really take school as serious as I would have. You know what I'm saying? Now looking back on it, it's like I'm glad I took the route that I chose. I'm glad I was open to the doors that, were open to me, whether it had been, military or whatever the case may be, if the military hadn't had his door open. But I mean, like, I'm glad that I didn't get to have my way because like you just said, I know for a fact if I hadn't joined the military, I would not be married. Period.
Yeah,
Up
yeah.
front, I just wouldn't be like I was way too immature back then. Another thing I know for a fact is if I had not joined the military, not only would I not be married, I wouldn't have my daughter. Off rip. Anything else is no, no, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because like once you experience that love of your wife and your kid, and once you experience the love of family, like for anybody that either wants to experience it, has experienced it, or hasn't experienced it yet, once you experience that, man, there is nothing like it. And speaking of family. You know what I'm saying? You're a happily married man with a beautiful family. You've talked to me through how but I want you to walk me through how did you originally, pursue your wife and pursue your wife to be your girlfriend? And then from there, take us to how did you know that your wife was gonna be the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Well, depending on who you ask, I don't know how we ended up with each other's Instagrams or whatever. I got a different
For sure.
story from her, but I mean, I seen her on Instagram, slid in her DMs, and we didn't talk maybe a couple of weeks, and then started like trying out a little relationship. Didn't quite work, and then she blocked me. And then, like, one day it was on
No.
her birthday, I think. I texted her on something else and told her happy birthday, and I was like, "Alright, you can unblock me now." And then, like, from that day on, we used to talk and got together, and it was maybe 6, 7 months later, we ended up getting engaged, so it was I mean, they say when you know, and it was just one of those
Mm,
situations, like, I knew I was ready because from leaving high school and moving here and starting my career, like I've had my fun throughout high school days, and like I knew that wasn't like the life for me. I wanted to do something different. Like I knew I was more mature than at what my age was. So I got told I was too young to get married, making dumb decisions and everything from a lot of people that I knew and looked up to. And then like 4 or 5 years later, we're still here and hopefully it continues to be that way. So I think
for
it worked
sure,
out all
man. For
right.
sure. Yeah, man. And I mean, like you're absolutely right. Like people, especially like as young as like we are, like 25, 26 years old and already having our family already in the career that we want to be in and everything like that, like one can say like, oh, you're so young and this that and the other, blah blah blah, or whatever the case may be. But it's just like at the same time though, it's like you just said, when you know what I'm saying, and there's
Yeah.
no point in like playing around with something that you are serious about, you know what I'm saying, or that like like this is truly what you want to pursue. um the speaking of marriage and everything like that, we talked about this before. The month, what I'm saying, that you and your wife got married was probably hands down like one of the hardest months one can even imagine or fathom.
Yeah.
You find out that you're having your kid outside of your engagement. You're battling with, I mean, you move your wedding day, for your grandfather, just to lose him in the same month, and then now you're battling all these emotions in these new stages of life. But what would you say kept you grounded, or how would you be, or how were you able to move through this stage of life while still keeping your head? And because I mean, other than the joy of your marriage, it was, I mean, one could assume that you were just like living like a happy life. Meanwhile, like behind the scenes, bro, like one can assume with losing a mentor, a family member, and all these other new things popping up, like things could easily be seen as chaotic. So how were you able to move through this stage of life?
Well, I don't know if you believe in the afterlife or not, but I feel like he got me through that because knowing that he had cancer, we had time to prepare. And even though you have time to prepare and know what's coming, it's still gonna hit you like a train. There's
Yeah.
no stopping that. So he told me before he passed away, like no matter what, we kind of knew about possibility of me being a father, and he was like, "I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire. Whether you're gonna be a great dad, you're gonna be a great husband, and no matter what, I'm gonna be there watching over you, and I'm always gonna be proud of you." So I mean, that helped carry me through those times because like his funeral was June 6th and we got married June 11th. So like just
Man,
trying to it was rough because and that's what helped me learn that also that my wife would definitely be the one because our wedding, her dream wedding was set for March and that was a whole nother year away. But once we found out his timeline on his life, she was able to, come to me and say, "Hey, I want to change it so your granddad can be there because I know that's important to you." And we changed the date,
yeah.
and he passed away 10 days before the wedding, so it was tough.
That is tough, man. That is tough. And that is really hard. But how do you, as you look at your life now, the way that you live your life, whether it be as a father, as a hardworking man, like as just a genuine stand up right person, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel like you honor your grandfather's memory as you live your life day to day?
There's like no quit in me. Like even though there's days where I feel like, all right, I'm winning. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm living life. Bills are being paid.
Yeah.
And then there's days that it's like, man, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I gotta do more. I gotta do something different. And I feel like that's just him reminding me, like, hey, you can't get comfortable where you're at. There's like no quit in you, so you need to get it together and keep pushing. So that's what really helps me a lot. And I got this initials tatted up right there, so I got that with me to always
Mm,
look at. So it helps
for
knowing
sure.
that he's looking down and he's proud. He told me he was proud of me before he left. So I mean, I got that memory replaying in my head all the
Yeah.
time. So I got to just keep pushing and keep it going.
When you think of like the fatherly bond that you had with your grandfather, is there a is there a moment, that you share with your grandfather that you hope to replicate, sharing with your son?
Uh, High school, my senior year, he lived in Pensacola and I was still playing football in Mariana. And my very first game in Mariana, he took the day off. And like I remember getting on the bus and my granddad was the only person in the stadium. Like I don't even know how in the hell he got in the stadium because the teams weren't even there yet, but he was
Yeah.
there. And like that to me is like he not only showed up, but he's the first person here and made sure that I seen him when I got off that bus and walked through the gate. So like I want to be like that for my son. That whatever he does, whatever he gets into, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be the first
You always
person
gonna be
there, and
present.
I'm gonna be there. So that's
I
a good
love that,
little
man.
moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. That's like a true like replication or reflection rather of like just the type of person that you are. Like I'm not even surprised by that answer, but if anything, like it just I don't know, it just makes me proud. Like because I see you with your son and I'm just like, man, like I can tell like you pour your all and your everything into this kid, man. But yeah, man, shout out to your family, bro. Like most definitely. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be taking a transition right here into one of our segments of the podcast called Questions from the Fire Pit. So what happens here is during this segment, we're just gonna be throwing out some questions. You answer them as fast as you can. If you want to go dive deeper into, why the question is this way or whatever the case may be, by all means, my brother, go ahead. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start very soon. But do you have any questions before we get started?
Nah, I'm good. Ready?
For sure, for sure. All right, all right. We'll see. We'll see. What?
Yeah,
All
we'll
right. So
find out.
question number one. Question number one. If you only had a week to live and you could go anywhere in the world, where's the first place you're traveling to?
Thought I was ready for that one, huh?
Yeah.
I'd go back to my roots. I guess I'd go back home. That's where I feel most
For
comfortable.
real.
I that's where I would want to be. I'd be surrounded by all my family, and I'd be home. I'd be at the crib. I'd be chilling. So that's where I would go.
Dang, that's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's deep. Okay. Question number two. What artist is in constant rotation either in your home or in your car?
A Boogie. That was easy.
For
A
real?
Boogie. I feel
Okay,
like this
okay.
dude puts out songs about my life. Everything he does, I can
Mm,
relate to just about. So like whatever he drop, I'm listening to.
for sure, for sure. I don't know why I thought it would be like maybe it's because of like our Florida roots or whatever, but I for some reason I just thought you were gonna say like a Florida artist or something like that. But
Growing up riding with my dad, all he played was Plies, so I guess I would say Plies, because even still to this
yeah, for
day,
sure, for
sometimes when
sure.
I'm driving home, I'm like, "Man, I gotta listen to some Plies a little bit."
Yeah, I
So,
feel
shout
you.
out to my dad
I
on that
feel
one,
you.
put me on Plies young.
For sure, for sure. Seafood or soul food?
Soul food,
Dang, for real.
yeah.
I was kind of guessing soul food, but I was like, I don't know, bro. I feel like with Florida, it's like a toss. Like you never know what somebody might say.
Hey, my great-grandma, she passed away at 93 years old, and she cooked every weekend, and, hey, I was there. First one in the door, soul food, hey. I'm not missing that. If it
Man,
come close to even tasting like something she would make, I'm there. I'm with it. I'm trying it.
for sure, for sure. What is your favorite memory as a father?
Probably finding out about him, because that like
Mm,
changed my life, my whole mindset, and it just made me lock in. Like I got a kid now, and a son especially. I gotta be a good
yeah,
example and a good father. So I gotta do what I gotta do. Like finding out that I had a son, and that was just probably
icing
best
on the
feeling in
cake.
the world right there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think like for me, like I don't know, bro. Like when I found out, bro, it was a whole plethora of emotions that were running through my head. Like, and then it came to the actual, like,
Yeah.
January, I'll never forget, bro. It was January 19th, and it was at 11 o'clock a.m. It was like 11 some a.m. because I was at my desk, and I can't bring my phone inside of the office because we work in a skiff. So, like, you can't bring like any electronics or anything in there. So, my wife had to call my work phone. So, she calls me, whatever, and I got like 10 different meetings I got to go to and everything like that. And she told me, and man, like, I don't know, like, I didn't say anything for, like, the first, like, 5 seconds out of, like, just trying to, like, really, like, process it, but I can say that, like, after that, though, once everything was processed and everything, I got home and, like, we talked about it and everything, like, man, it was most definitely, I felt the same thing of, like, lock in, like, any and everything that was in my life that I wanted out, like, that was, like, negative, like, I was like, "Yeah, nah, we gotta change this." Like, that's when I decided, Imma get baptized, I wanna devote my life more to Christ. I want to, I started eating healthier, started cooking more, like, I don't know, like, it's just I don't know, about I feel
Yeah.
that though, like, it's something that you can't necessarily explain, but it's something like when you really fully accept that you're getting ready to have a kid, you know, s boy or girl, like, you just absolutely lock in because you like, "Man, like, I gotta show up for them." You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel you.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
so
probably one
next
of the best
question.
feelings
Oh,
right
go
there
ahead.
for sure. No, I was just saying that's definitely I feel you on that, because that's like a feeling you just best feeling in the world, and you just gotta, all right, it's time to lock in. I got a kid now, so I definitely feel it.
I'm saying. I'm saying. Okay, so next question. After practice, what was your go-to meal that
All
never
right,
failed? A go-to meal after practice that never failed. And do you still
something
have it today after a good work day?
something I shouldn't even have been eating after practice, bro, was hot fries. So
On me,
yeah.
bruh. Hot fries was a go-to. Was a staple. I'm talking about a
Yeah, I don't even
staple in
know if you
Tallahassee growing
remember,
up.
but that little the football tournament that they did at Leon, I played in, and I had like a
Mhm.
Sprite and hot fries from the corner store right up the road before that. And I made it through like the second
Man.
game, and I was cramping up so bad, like everything in my body locked up. And I was like, yeah, I regretted that. But I still do that now. Like,
Oh, man.
hot fries. It's not healthy at all, but hey, it's my go to.
It's not healthy at all, man. Yeah, get you there, man. Get you there.
Yeah,
Um, what is uh what is your favorite college football team?
Florida Gators.
Yeah.
And I know you're the complete opposite, but
Next. Yeah, yeah. Go Knowles. All right. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
nah.
Yeah, hey, look, okay, we not gonna be comparing and talking about
Y'all
teams because
rebuilding and
a
yeah,
season we are completely rebuilding. All right,
yeah.
well, I don't know. I think y'all might actually have a good season this upcoming season. If not this one, definitely the next one
I
because
mean, I
like
hope
oh,
we
like
need it.
y'all new coach. Hey, we both need it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I feel like y'all new coach. I feel like he did really good with Tulane, and I feel like what he's getting ready to do with y'all is just gonna be up in the level. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had a lot of stuff to say because it was Tulane, but I mean, they made it to the playoffs. So
it's better than Sun Belt Billy. I could not stand Billy McPeter,
hey,
so
you
I'm
know,
glad we
so
got a new coach.
for sure, man, for sure. Um, when it comes to the NFL, who is your top three players to ever play the game? You can only choose three.
Top 3 from the NFL to ever
Top
play?
three to
That's
ever play.
wild.
Your top three, not everybody else's. Just yours. It could be ones you seen play, ones you never seen play. Just your top three.
Well, running back, I'll probably say Fred Taylor because he's also a
Okay.
Florida boy. But
Mhm.
Jacksonville, my favorite NFL team. So him being a Gator and a Jag, kind of a little biased right there. But I definitely would say Fred Taylor.
Yeah.
He still was a dog on the field. And then corner, just because I played corner, and I hate to say this because he's
Mm.
a Seminole, but Jalen Ramsey, probably one
Yes,
of the
sir.
best defensive backs ever. I got to give him
Mm.
his credit. And then that boy Mahomes is undeniable right now. So, and
Yeah, you're
I'm not
right.
even
I
a
mean,
big
I
Kansas City fan, but he's just somehow,
neither
some
am I,
way, he's
bro.
a dog, bro.
You can't deny it, bro. Like
Yeah,
the man is talented. You know what I'm saying? Like me, same here. I'm not even a Kansas City fan. Never have been. I don't care how many rings they win. I never will be.
I hate
But
him, but
you
he's a
gotta
dog.
respect it, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta respect it. All right. So, what is the craziest moment you have of playing football? Craziest moment, memory, however you want to phase it. But was the craziest memory or moment that you have whenever you were playing football?
The Lincoln and Leon game, my freshman year when I got
It's
a
always lit.
concussion. That
Oh,
game,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
Oh,
'Cause I
dang.
probably shouldn't even have.
Dang, I remember
I
that.
got the concussion earlier in the game, I'm pretty sure, and then I went and threw another
Mm.
little late hit on the sideline, and then was seeing stars. Next thing you know, I'm at TMH. I always remember that moment
Oh,
because I'm
dang.
like, yeah, that's probably the first like real injury I got from football, and that it was a wake up call. Like, oh yeah, I remember this one forever.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember, cause did you end up going to school the next day? I don't think you did.
No, I was out for like a week, and then when I came back
Yeah,
with like sunglasses on.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
I remember
thugging.
that jump, bro. Man, alright, cause I remember, like, the very next day, cause Leon versus Lincoln game was always lit, always lit. Everybody was always going to them games, and I remember going to school the next day and, getting to class, and they see. I'm like, "Damn, what where Brandon at?" You know, and then, bruh, quickly, because everybody was there, everybody was talking about the hit, bro, and so, man, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and what's
That was in the
wild about that is
backlogs
it
of
was
my
my
brain, man.
fault too.
Oh,
I
dang,
went
for
in and
real?
threw that wild hit, leading with my head,
Mm.
and thought I was good, and I went and did it. They had a big ass fullback. I don't even know. I don't even remember his name or nothing. But I remember trying to run up in the hole head first with him, and that's probably how I got it for sure.
Ah, got you. Do you have any phobias or fears? And if so, what are they?
Well, I just got over one, and that was getting on a plane.
Dang, for
I
real?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't
You
know
know,
why,
being
but
on a
I
plane
I
really isn't that
always
bad.
said yeah, it wasn't terrible, but for some reason I'm just
Mm.
like I guess hanging around all the older guys, man, they don't go nowhere. They stay at the house. They don't get on the plane. I just hear
Yeah.
stories about them like, "No, I ain't never getting on no plane." So I was like, "Nah, I'm never
Yeah.
getting on a plane." And then now finally just getting on one, I'm like, "It wasn't even that bad." But I don't
For
know. I got
sure,
a
for sure.
love-hate relationship for it now because, I mean, it is quicker and more efficient, but I got delayed twice, once in New York and once in Atlanta. And I was like, "Bro,
Mm,
I coulda just drove there, and this time, yeah."
dang. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I try to stay. I went to ATL airport one time and it was I was going between duty stations. Man, bro, we get to Atlanta. Bro, I was so doggone lost. I'm literally never lost. I've flown too many times to get lost in the airport. I can figure my way out. Atlanta airport, whole nother world. Whole nother world, bro. And then on top of that, my flight was leaving and like I had an hour to get from point A to point B. And I could not figure out how to navigate myself through this doggone airport. There was just too much going on. I think Atlanta airport was the first airport I had ever been to that had like the size of it was so big that you need to catch a train to get from one side to the other.
Yeah,
That's when
that
I was
that place
like,
is huge.
yeah, yeah,
And I
nah,
went
this is a different level.
I went with my, best friend, Ethan. Dude, like, that's my
Mhm.
travel buddy now, like, he's always down for
Yeah.
whatever. He'll go anywhere, but we got delayed in New York, so when we finally made it to Atlanta, and we got dropped off at, like, gate A27 and had to go to E33, and we made it all the way to that train, and it had, like, just took off, and we had, like, 15 minutes to make it, so we ran literally from terminal to terminal,
Sheesh.
and, like, halfway through, he started cramping up, and I was like, "Bro, you better keep pushing. We gotta make
Oh,
this flight back
dang,
to
right, no, for
Pensacola."
sure. Crimp on the plane, crimp on the
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah, so that
Man,
that was wild. I don't like Atlanta Airport.
yeah, nah,
Yeah.
nah. Atlanta drivers crazy too. No offense to Atlanta drivers, but you know, yeah, nah, y'all a different breed. Our final question here from the fire pit, you know, what's one city in Florida that you believe is completely overrated? Or what's a thing in Florida that you believe is completely overrated?
City is Panama City. 'Cause,
Dang,
like,
for real?
growing up, like, literally right up the road on Panama City cutoff. And then
Mhm.
going it was fun going when I was younger in spring break, and now I'm like the way they act on spring break now is definitely makes you wanna stay completely away from that city altogether. Like,
Mm,
they cut up now during spring break, and I don't know, I guess I'm getting old or something now. I'm like, being around those type of crowds is
yeah,
it's not worth the hype, bro. Like, y'all can go back home. I'll come during the winter when y'all
yeah,
not here, so yeah,
for
probably
sure.
Panama
For sure.
City is
And
most overrated.
I feel that though. Like I can definitely see that because I don't know, like growing up, I definitely remember, you know, going to for spring break, we would go to Panama City certain times during the summer we would go to Panama City. You know, occasionally, I think I went to St. George like once or twice, but then like nothing really beats the beach of Panama City. You know what I'm saying? But I can definitely see how someone staying there, living there, you know, like how when people, because it does get overly crowded. Like
Yeah.
everybody feels like they need to go. And it's not like it's a lot of stuff to do in Panama City. It's just
Yeah.
the beach. You know, the food is mid, the ain't no parks. It's literally just the beach. That is it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how, like, at least when I went, like, the beach was clean. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it is now, but like, for all them
It's
people to
probably
go,
not now.
and yeah, I was say it's probably not now, but I mean, like, I remember going and everybody would be there, but like for some reason, like the beach just stayed clean. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one thing that just kept my family and I like to keep going back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I completely agree. Um, so
The
as
best
we move
beach
on
though,
to
Pensacola Beach.
yeah,
If you
Pensacola
ever
beach
wanna
for real.
experience the best beach, come to Pensacola. Just the
Okay, what do
view,
you feel like? Mhm.
yeah, the views, and then, you're a military man, so you probably appreciate the Blue
Yeah,
Angels. They have their shows, their beach shows, and
fire.
I mean, they're packed out, and that's the only time I like being around a crowd is for that show, for sure, but
Hmm.
I definitely would say we
I think
got
we
the
went
best
to
beach.
there was an A school. There was an A school, which is like a type of school that pilots go through. There was an A school that took place in Pensacola, and for a week straight, me and a couple other of the JROTC cadets were able to, go see how go look at like the simulators that they use to fly the jets and the planes, to look at, sit in some of the classes with them. And I'm not gonna lie, it was lit, it was cool. I don't think I've ever been to Pensacola Beach before, but no, I've definitely been on the military base side of Pensacola, and it's nice. I definitely will say that. What's something in Florida that you feel like is rated perfectly? Personally, Universal Studios. I don't think Universal Studios is underrated. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's rated exactly what everyone thinks. I think it's freaking lit
I've
from
never
all the
been.
areas and places. You've never been Universal Studios?
Nah. Nah, I've been to Disney and never been to
Brandon,
Universal. Yeah.
dog, you are in Florida. Like,
Yeah, I
yo,
know.
you so for real.
Yeah, never been. I was
Wow.
supposed to go for a class like 2 years ago, and then the hurricane came through Orlando and, like, flooded the park, so I didn't even get a chance to go, but I haven't been, so
God, dog. That now I will say, people, if you're not from Florida, I will definitely say your whole plans can be ruined from one storm. One
yeah,
storm in
yeah.
Florida can mess everything up. And don't get me wrong, it will mess it up for the duration of like about a good hour, maybe two. Afterwards, it's gonna be like nothing ever happened. The sun is gonna be up, clouds gonna be all bright and white. It's gonna be like nothing happened, except the humidity is gonna be turned up by like 10 and it's already on 100. But it's, man, nah, bro. Like, I remember even from our wedding, bro, like, kid you not, we were supposed to have our wedding was supposed to be out in this like big open field. It was supposed to be an outdoor wedding. And it was, man, it was supposed to be gorgeous, beautiful. My wife picked out this area because I was still in DC, and she was in between North Carolina and Florida at the time. She picked out the place and everything, and it was so nice. However, the day we were supposed to get married, April 10th, the day we were supposed to get married, it was scheduled to storm. It was scheduled to storm. Hurricane was supposed to come through, all that kind of stuff. So, but it was too late. It was too late for us to like change everything because we were too close to the actual day. So we were like we had done told people. I had done, scheduled my leave and everything. And for me, schedule leave during that time, like, once you get your leave and you get the green light, brother, you better take it. Cause ain't no telling
Yeah,
when they gonna be like, all right, yep, nope. So I was like, yeah, no, bro, I don't know if we can change the day. So kept it that day, but then we had to move it inside though. So like everything that we had planned for the wedding completely had to change. Not to mention it's also COVID. Like, so well, it was still during the COVID times. It was 2021, April 10th of 2021. And yeah, man, that a storm can change all your plans and you can just end up having a hurricane party instead. So
yeah,
um
our wedding day, it rained the morning of, and then we
mhm.
got married outside too in June, so it was hot. It rained for like an
Man, y'all wedding
hour
looked
that
beautiful.
morning. I appreciate that,
Mm.
yeah. It rained that morning, and then the rest of the day, I was sweating. Even in some of the pictures with the way she edited them, you could see my shirt. I'm soaked through my shirt, sweat
Yeah.
running down my face, and everybody's clowning me
Yeah.
thinking I'm nervous, and I'm like, "Bro, I'm just hot."
Yeah.
In Florida,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Man, that Florida heat is something different, man. Um, but yeah, brother, making the trans, man, you just traveled to New York. Before we get out the fire pit, you just traveled to New York. We
yes,
talked about
sir.
places that you gotta go. You got you got 365 days from today, which is April 17th. 2026. You have 365 days to make it to Universal. I don't care if you just get to the gate. You have got to go to Universal.
Oh, I'm going this year
Halloween
for
Horror
sure.
Nights. I was about to say you gotta go.
Yeah.
October is nice. It's not too humid, crowded because it's Halloween horror. But outside of that, bro, it's so much fun, bro. It's so much fun. Um, but transitioning out of the fire pit and everything, we're gonna talk about where you at. Where do you see yourself in the future? You know, when you think of where you are now and where you want to be, what do you feel your younger self would say about the man that you are today?
I feel like my younger self would be proud. I mean, I'd like feel like I'd be on a different path. I
Mm,
never expected to be where I am today by the age that I am. Cause I'm like, sometimes I gotta remind myself that I'm only 26 because I want to be so far ahead. And then I'm like, I gotta stop and slow down and be like, all right, well, I've already done this. I've already made it this far. And it's just like, I had this feeling of where I can't get complacent. So like, I hope that, younger me would be proud of me today, but I still want to keep pushing to get better. And
no, for
because
sure.
yeah, one of my favorite Denzel quotes from Remember the Titans when he was like, "I'm a winner. I'm going to win." Like
Yeah, I'm
I ain't
gonna
trying to
win.
sound
Yeah.
cocky, but like I'm a winner. I want to win. I'm gonna win. I hate losing. So whatever I
Mhm,
do in life, like being a good husband, being a good father, hopefully I can continue to keep doing that in the future. And
mhm.
I'm blessed as long as I can continue to keep doing those two, no matter what else happens in life.
For sure, for sure. And I feel like also, I don't think it's cocky. You know, I don't think it's cocky for one to think or one to say, that quote about themselves because life is hard as it is anyway. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like life is already going to try to beat you down, throw you down. Like if anyone feels as though you saying I'm a winner, I'm gonna win is being cocky or being like arrogant or whatever the case may be, like honestly, I would just go ahead and just X them out life, all the X them out of your life, like, altogether. Like, it's nah, because, like, life is already gonna be negative. It's already gonna show 10,000 different obstacles, 10,000 different reasons of why you can't get to where you are. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if anything, you having the mindset of I'm going to achieve everything that I said I was going to, sets you apart from others. And, the people who really rock with you should be like, you know what, Brandon? Like, nah, for sure, bro. Like, definitely go out and go get that. Definitely go out and go do that. Like, I really try to surround myself with people that truly do believe in my vision because it's already hard enough that like me becoming an actor, but wanting to become an actor on a bigger stage that out of the 100% of people who pursue that, literally less than 5% actually become successful. Is the reason why in the pool of movies that you watch, in a pool of TV shows that you see and everything like that, it's very rare that you see something different. So like for me wanting to pursue something and in a career field where that the same people are being recycled a lot of the times and it's kind of hard to get your foot in the door successfully, like I try to just keep people around me that really rock with my vision, see my vision, or just simply just believe in me. You know what I'm saying? But all of that's arrogance and that's this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. When it's not, it's just me believing in myself.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
couple
man,
of
for check the deuces up.
good people like that. Like speaking on family and my cousins, like I had a cousin that moved, I think from Michigan at the time, and he
Hmm.
moved in with me and my grandparents and stayed with us for 2 years throughout high school. And like so we kind of formed that little brotherly bond. And every now
For
and
sure.
then I get a random text from him like, "Hey, bro, you're doing good. You're a great father. Keep pushing." So I mean, like having people like that in your corner, shout out to Reese, is a great. It keeps you going because like on the days that you're down, sometimes you might need that. Like, "Hey, bro, you're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing." So like having the right people in that circle, and got a couple of guys now that like they're really good to have around. And keeping me on the right path, not letting me get in any trouble, and always doing the right thing. Some had to get cut off, but I got a couple of good friends in the circle that's going I feel like gonna be stuck forever. So that's important.
Right. I mean, it's good to, to make sure take care of your lawn, bro. Make sure you take care
Yeah.
of your like your circle, because before you know it, you'll end up growing some beautiful flowers, and then you got some weeds that's coming through. You know what I'm saying? If you're not able to depict, the weeds from the flowers, you're gonna end up getting choked out. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, your dream or your life or your career that's blossoming ends up getting choked out by the people that either just want to leech off of you, or people that just don't want you to do better than them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important and it's very needed to to navigate through life in a way where it's just like, hey bro, we was cool, but this is where the train ends, you know what I'm saying? This is where this friendship
Yeah.
or this relationship, has to come to a halt. No, for sure, for
I
sure.
got I got a
Um,
great uncle who does that. Like, he keeps me in line, keeps me humble, cause like, being from a small town, when you try to step out, you move away, you do something good and positive with your life, there's some people that's like, "Oh, he's doing this, so now he feels like he's better than everybody," and all that. So,
yeah,
it's not that I feel like I'm better than people, I'm just improving and trying to keep my life on the right path, so I can't be around the same people, I can't be doing the same old thing. But having, like, a
right.
great uncle like that, that's like, he'll tell me when I'm wrong. I can go talk to him about anything, and he'll be like, "Hey, nah, you tripping, B, you wrong." So, like, having somebody in your circle like that, it helps too, because I just talked to him right before I came on here to talk to you, let him know I was doing this, and he was big support. Oh, shout out to Dexter, man. He's a good dude, a little old head, man. He's a Florida State Seminole, but that's our
Yes,
only
sir. Yes,
that's
sir.
our only hate right there, that he's a Seminole and I'm a Gator. But he gave me one of the
Yeah,
greatest compliments that you can ever give another person, because he don't have any kids, and he told me that if he had a son, he would want him to be exactly like me, and he wouldn't change a thing about me. And, like, that gave me a big confidence
that
boost
is a
going into
huge
life.
compliment.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
hit a little different. When I was younger, I was like, "Man, this man just talking." But now looking back and knowing and seeing
yeah.
that he still means it, I'm like, "Oh, man, he said something like that." So that
Yeah,
it's wild.
that's deep. That's deep, and
Yeah.
it's good to have, you know, family members, especially. You know what I'm saying? Because that's either where your biggest motivation can come from, or that's where like your biggest like insecurities can come from. You know what I'm saying? Like it's either going to be from families or it's going to be from the voice that's inside your head. So the fact that you have people in your corner that's rooting for you in this way and form, bro, is absolutely amazing. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of people, rooting for you and understanding you and seeing you for who you are, you know what I'm saying? When people get to hear your story in this full in this entirety as far as like where we are right now, because I truly just feel like this is just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like as far as fatherhood, you're gonna do so many more amazing things with your son. Maybe even expand your family if that's what you and your wife are looking to do. If when it comes to your career field, you're gonna end up reaching higher heights than what you're already reaching. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like just life in general, you honestly, I literally just see this as just the start of such an amazing story, but when people hear and listen to your story, what do you hope people gain from it?
I hope that they realize that, you know, there's no quit in me, because even doing this right now is stepping outside of my comfort zone. I'm always trying to push myself, because I'm not a big talker at all. Like, if I'm in a room, I'm gonna be the quietest one in the room. I'm gonna sit back and watch. I'm
Facts.
gonna listen to you. I'm not gonna say too much. And I'm not like I don't have like a real outgoing personality. But when you hit me up and was like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you want to do this?" I'm like, "Definitely. I want to step outside my comfort zone. I want
For
to do
sure.
something different. I want to talk a little bit, tell my story, and hopefully they see that there's no quit in me, and I'm gonna keep pushing myself to whatever it is, fatherhood and life, whatever. I'm gonna keep going and keep pushing."
Absolutely, man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Um, if you could leave a message for your son, who may look back at this, some years in the future, or whatever the case may be, if you could leave a message for him, what would that message be?
I want him to know for sure that I love him, or I love him with everything that I got in me, and that
Mm,
I'll always be proud of him no matter what he does, and hopefully that I can continue being a great father and be someone that he looks up to, and hopefully when it's all said and done, he can be proud and maybe be sitting telling stories about me one day. So definitely
For
want him to
sure,
know
for
that I
sure.
love him and that I'll be proud of him no matter what he does in life. 'Cause he definitely
Absolutely,
changed
man.
my life for sure. He changed my life for the better. I was already on the right path before him, but having him pushed me and elevated me to that next level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and our final question here is you talked about, one of the last moments that you shared with your grandfather. And you talked about just how impactful and how important that was to you. But when you look at, everything that you've accomplished since then and the things that you're doing, where you're at mentally, you know what I'm saying? With all that put together, if you had the opportunity to tell your grandfather anything, what would you tell him?
I appreciate him for holding my feet to the fire because I know every time I get comfortable in life and get put in a different situation that I have to step outside of my comfort zone is him because he told me that he was gonna hold my feet to the fire no matter what I did. So I know every time I get pushed, and it's definitely him. So I look forward to those days where I kind of get comfortable, and he's like, "Nah, you got something else to do. Here you go, bro." So like I know he's watching
For
over me. I
sure.
know he's proud. So that's definitely one.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Brandon, look, man, thank you so much for being here and joining us on another episode of Surviving the Flame. You, my friend, are a true hustler in every sense of the word, man. And it's just it's honestly an honor and a privilege, man, just for us to not only have this talk, but to also just still keep in contact after all these years, man. And I truly honor and appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here on another episode, hearing this amazing conversation and journey of the one and only Brandon Allen. And to make sure that you don't miss out on anything else, please make sure to check out mickensnation.com, where you can get more updates, newsletters, and clips from some of your favorite episodes of Surviving the Flame, and more updates to come. Now, if you've made it this far, do us all a favor: like, share, and subscribe this so we can all keep this flame lit together. And thank you all again. But before we leave, we're gonna end it off with the final quote of today, which is: be kind to everyone on your way up, because you never know who you may need on your way back down. Thanks again, everyone. And as always, spread kindness, spread peace, spread love, because this is Surviving the Flame. See you on the next one.